All right, guys. So 'tis the season. We have reached the beginning of a new year, and with that, the wife starts putting up her Christmas decor. But before she puts it up, I felt like this would be a good opportunity to show you guys some items of really good value that you should look for while you're out and about. My wife is a collector of these items, and I consider her to have a very trained eye when it comes to quality because she just so happened to have gotten all of this stuff thrift stores, yard sales, online sales, very affordably. So, just as an example, a real quick thing that you notice here, common theme, Santa mugs. So these things are valuable. You've got crazed and cracked and loved, definitely worth more now than brand new looking. Nobody wants brand new. As you can see, she got these for a steal at $5. I've seen these selling for $30 here lately, which is crazy to me. Of course, anytime you see these little kitschy elves, these things, they sell for like $30, $40, excuse me, $30, $40 a piece. She's got a couple of them laying around. Of course, any of the old Christmas, this was a candy. It would have had like candy inside of it. Well, actually, no, this is just decor. Some of these actually have candy inside of them. They're hollow. This one is not. This was just for decor. But notice the copper skis. Very cool. Those sell for like 20 or 30 bucks. If you look in the back, boxed sets of Santa mugs. $200 a box. She's got two of them. And then regular size Santa mugs like this, these sell for $20 to $30 depending on condition. And to be honest, the cracks and the crazing, they love it. Collectors love that stuff. And then fairy lamps are another good thing to look for. And obviously, as you see in the background, Pyrex. We'll talk about Pyrex another time. She's got plenty for us to look at. We consider ourselves quality collectors, maybe quality hoarders, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of valuable Christmas items that you can look for. Obviously, anytime you find those bottles, those are usually pretty good. This is a plastic cookie jar. Still pretty valuable in wonderful condition. This one's from like, I believe, the 50s or 60s. And then, of course, you got some real artwork in the background. And over here, we've got a pretty cool vintage Happy Holidays 1979 Coca-Cola calendar. Never used. That's probably 100, 150 bucks. Pretty cool. So, neat items here. Items of value. We try to collect items of value, not cheap things, because we want to be able to get a return on our investment. So, this will be continued with some Christmas trees here shortly. All right, we learned about Santa mugs, so we'll learn about some other things that maybe are a little more common. Ceramic Christmas trees. You've probably seen these at your grandmother's house, maybe at your mom's house. These are now very trendy and back in. And really, prices vary on who made it, what style it is, and overall looks, and what that person likes the most. Generally, ones this size are going to be at a minimum $100. You might see one like this, 50 to 70. And then some of these that are a little more decor or with the flocking, they're going to be a little over 100. Another thing that usually comes hand in hand with vintage Christmas trees is vintage Christmas ornaments. So if they're in a box, the decor on the box is very important because these ladies like to take these and lay them sideways and they stack them. So they have a really nice decorative look in a cabinet. Right here you see they're stacked. Shiny Bright is a brand you want to look for. They're made in USA back in the day. And also Roush is another good brand to look for. They're usually glass ornaments, and you can identify them by the caps on the top. They'll have a name. This one is unnamed. This is probably a German ornament. But anytime you find old Christmas in the box, it's definitely worth buying. And, you know, just in general, anything old Christmas. Here's a beautiful treetop, an angel treetop. This is probably 1940s, 1950s. And then down here we've got a very old Christmas card box, 25 cards. Very cool. And then if you look in the very bottom, there's a Christmas tree mold. That is how you make the Christmas trees that we saw up here. Those Christmas trees are made by putting in this mold. Now, obviously it's a little dirty. This came from a pottery shop. But they would put the clay, they would close these together, pour the clay in the top, and it would fill up the mold. And this was a two-piece mold. Looks like this was the top and this was the bottom. And there's your base. All in one, you can make one tree from this mold. These are pretty rare because most potters keep them because that's how they make their money. My wife was actually offered that from a friend who's a potter. So, ceramic Christmas tree ornaments, vintage Christmas, very collectible. People love it. Now, what's coming in really trendy right now is folky Christmas. So like this is a hand-painted, handmade, unsigned. We don't know who made it. Another piece hand-painted, handmade. These pieces, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks. I actually might have had him listed on eBay for like 100. He had a lot of watchers, but we took him off. And here's some old lights that are made out of the blow mold material. Blow molds, we can talk about those another day. I've got plenty of those. That's the hard plastic that you see in people's yards with the light bulbs inside of them all lit up. Usually you see them in movies. Everybody loves them. And of course, Coca-Cola blends right in with Christmas. So, quilts are another thing that go with Christmas. Check these out. Handmade, each little piece. Quilts are another thing.
That bottom one's actually a tree skirt.
And then tree skirts. Anything handmade, cloth, Christmas decor. The Christmas people love them. They collect them. They like them. Here is another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with ceramic Christmas trees. You'll see the ceramic wreaths. These are really neat. Sometimes you'll see them with lights in them and lit up like a ceramic Christmas tree. So, Christmas decor can be money. If you look right there, the L, she actually spells no L. Those are really, really hard to find. There's another blow mold at the top and a full-size sled. And then here, this is actually kind of cool. This is a family quilt, my family quilt. And this was probably made in like the 30s or 40s. This was my great-grandfather's mother. And my wife thought this was super cool when we went over for a Christmas celebration. And my mom was like, oh, do you want that quilt? And she was like, oh my God, for real? And so now we have this cool quilt. So it'll come out every Christmas and we'll enjoy it. But handmade, you can always see the stitching on the inside. And the stitching is not uniform. It's different. And that's how you can tell that it's handmade and not machine made. Now, was a machine used to make it? Probably, yes, a sewing machine. But it wasn't in a factory being made by the thousands. This is a one of a kind. I hope you guys learned something, and check back next time, see what we learned.